The Trump administration is again trying to ban people, this time from 6 Muslim countries. You got 2 different federal judges that have already jumped in to block it for now. But here with me tonight, America's most beloved Muslim, a physical giant, a moral giant, a true living legend. Forget about Kobe and Jordan and LeBron and Steph Curry. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still the best scorer ever. Here to take on Trump. Bring him to the stage, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the house. Oh, here we go. What an honor. What an honor. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I was just saying, I wish my dad was still alive, because he loved you, and he would want to know the same thing everybody else wants to know, which is, as a Muslim, as our most prominent Muslim, as our most beloved Muslim, what does it feel like 50-plus days into the Trump administration?
Well, I was very disappointed with just the whole mean-spirited effort that's been made. I understand how increased and more efficient vetting is going to protect us. No problem with that. But to pick one group and just say that their problem, they are the problem, it's a lie, and it's trying to market in fear.
Yeah.
And making people afraid is not going to do anything to make our country better.
Yeah, well, I think you can give him a round of applause for that. That's I think, very well said. I want to bring a young Muslim into this conversation right off the top. Summer?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Summer, and I'm a college student who lives in Bayonne, New Jersey. So last week, the zoning board denied the application of a mosque, and it's been over a year. There was multiple hearings on it. The reason for the denial was that it would have too many variances in regards of like a density and parking and traffic. So while that's understandable, what wasn't understandable was the hateful and hurtful rhetoric that was met from the Bayonne community, some members of it, to the Bayonne Muslims. There was flyers passed around that said that we were tied to the Muslim Brotherhood, signs hung in houses that said "Save Bayonne" and "Stop the Mosque," and hate speech at these meetings that accused Islam of being a backwards religion. So my question for you, Mr. Jabbar, is as a person who has time and time again had to defend why you chose Islam as your faith, is how do you feel that your fellow Muslims should respond to what's going on in my community?
Well, thank you for your question. And I think that what's going on in your community is just an outward manifestation of bigotry. And you have to go against that and use the law. So there are laws against discrimination. And by bringing up false issues like parking and traffic congestion, they're able to frustrate your legitimate needs. So you have to go and just pursue your legitimate, what you have a legitimate right to desire, which is a place of worship. So there's nothing wrong with that. So you just have to use the laws that are there and contest these people and fight them in court and make it so expensive for them that they'll have to give up, because you guys aren't doing anything wrong.
I think you're encouraging her to be active and to be activist, and you have good reason to do so because you've been an activist your whole life. I want to show you a photo of yourself. My favorite photo of you is not on the basketball court. It's this photograph.
Who is that guy with hair?
I know, with hair. With the young Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown and all these guys. Why were you such an activist? You didn't have to speak out. Why did you?
I spoke out because I just, starting with the death of Emmett Till, I didn't understand it. My parents couldn't explain it to me, so I was just looking for information.
A young man that was murdered by racists.
He was he was murdered in Mississippi because they thought he said something that was insulting. Basically, that was what it was all about.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand it. My parents couldn't explain it to me, so I was just looking for information. I watched Walter Cronkite every night during the civil rights movement, for years. And I saw what was going on, and I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to help. I wanted not to have that fear that I could be murdered just because of the color of my skin.
And so you use that platform to speak up. Well, we have a young guy here who's a basketball star, hopeful,
Okay.
His name is Dylan, and he's got a question.
How you doing, Dylan?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
You are a very active member in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Recently, there's been a lot of protests about, like, how our country is moving. How would you suggest a junior high schooler to voice their opinion to adults?
Well, I have to say that what you want to try to do is make bridges. You want to be able to communicate with people what your concerns are. And there are things that are happening that make you angry. But don't let your anger dominate your ability to communicate. Because if you're communicating anger, you're just going to turn people off. If you can tell people what concerns you and why, and you can be articulate about that, you can build a bridge to them. They can understand you. And in understanding you, they can make themselves understood to you. So this bridge it's about back and forth communication with people that you disagree with, or you might have just a simple difference of opinion. Be patient, learn how to communicate, learn how to listen, and you'll be able to solve your problems.
Well, look, I wish you could go to the White House and explain that whole process, because that's really been missing. It really has been missing. You know, you are such a beautiful young man. Do you have any other questions for the great hero?
My dad has the same birthday as you, April 16th. That's all I have to say.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Dad.
hey, good. Well, look, I know that in real life, the question he has, he wanted to be able to come up here and get a picture with you. So I'm going to give him a round of applause as he comes up here. We're going to have another section of you. So you stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have one final question for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we're going to go deep with it. So. Welcome back to The Messy Truth. I'm Dan Jones. I'm here with my special guest, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We're just going to go right to the first question. Go right ahead.
Hi, Kareem. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
That's good. I have to be honest. I was prepared, but I'm nervous when I'm here with you.
Yeah, all right.
You're the
Don't be
greatest.
nervous. Don't be nervous.
It'll
all work out.
I've been a fan for many years on and off the court. Your career wasn't easy, but you're awesome. You played and you fought during some of the toughest and most competitive times in NBA history, especially when you played the Boston Celtics. The competition and the battles were intense. I myself am the owner of a clothing store, and I've lost a clothing store in a fire. And I'm just happy to be here with you and to take some inspiration from you, and bear with me, and to be in the presence of one of the most respected and intelligent figures in sports.
Give this brother a round of applause. He wants. I know what he's gone through. His store burned to the ground just this past week, and he wants to get some inspiration from you. How do you get through tough times? You've been through tough battles. How do you get through tough times? We're all going through it right now. Help him.
Well, I think the thing you have to do is just remember why you're here. And I'm gonna make a wild guess and say you're all about family.
Yes,
People,
sir.
That's what I thought. So you just got to figure out what you can do for your family and get back on track. You know, it might take you more time, but they're worth it, and you're worth it. And don't ever let anybody dissuade you from knowing that. And since you know that, go out and do the best you can for them. Because this is a place where if you work hard and you do the right things, you can succeed. So success is not going to be denied to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the short time we have left, why did you become a Muslim? So many people are afraid of Muslims. What do you say to them about your faith?
I would say to them that our faith is based on the same Judeo-Christian tradition as Christianity or Judaism.
Abraham.
The Prophet Muhammad was a descendant from Abraham. People don't know that. People don't know that we have basically the same laws and understanding of what's important. Yeah. So I would say that the crazy people over in the Middle East that are cowards and murderers, they don't represent Islam. Islam is represented by people like this.
Thank you so much.
Like this.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Look, I want to thank you and all my other guests tonight, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Chris Collins, everybody in the audience, everybody watching at home. We've had a great conversation. You have heard some words of inspiration from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar about how to build bridges, about how to listen, about how to stand in faith and stand for family. Talk about that. Don't talk about tweets. Talk about that. I'm going to be back here Wednesday, April the 5th for the next special of Messy Truth with Arnold Schwarzenegger, live from Los Angeles. Arnold, CNN Tonight with Don Lemon starts right now. Thank you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the house.